The first step in learning how to throw a knife is to build a throwing target. Throwing knives in your drywall is a good way to get in trouble with your wife. In this video, we're going to show you how to make an end grain throwing target. Throwing targets that are made out of planks use less wood and are definitely cheaper to make. The problem with this type of target is that you have to cut the grain in order to stick the knife or the axe. This would include targets like throwing it into the side of a tree or into a wall. With an end grain target like a log round, the blade will actually slide between the fibers, allowing it to stick more often. They're also safer because it absorbs more impact, reducing bounce back. This type of target is also much better for sticking a wide variety of weapons like knives, axes, ninja stars, even garden shears. This will be very important for some of our future videos. Lumber's pretty expensive, and we didn't want to spend a lot of money on something we were just going to destroy with knives and axes, so we set about our properties looking for various pieces of scrap wood we could make a target out of. Some of the boards on the pallet were so rotted that we could just tear it off with our bare hands, but that made it easier to get to the boards that we wanted. Also, after cutting off some of the rot, we found that a lot of the wood was still usable. We kept reminding each other we're not building a rocket ship, we're building something that's meant to be destroyed. We set all the usable wood off to the side and made a plan. There were a couple of good wooden blocks that we could use for the center of the target, and a couple of 2x4s that we could cut up into little pieces to be the same length. There were also plenty of planks that we could use to make up the frame of the target. The next step was to take the blocks we had set aside for the center and use them to measure and cut the 2x4s. No measuring tapes for us, remember, we're not making a rocket ship. So our construction motto was measure once, then destroy it. We quickly realized we weren't going to have enough wood with just the 2x4s, so we found a couple of scrap 4x4s that filled in the empty space quite nicely. Once all the pieces were cut, we lined them up on what would be the back of the frame and realized we needed more 4x4s. Now that we're able to fill in all the gaps, we can get the dimensions for our frame. No measuring tapes for us, remember this isn't rocket surgery. For the back of the board, we used wider planks. We then used smaller planks to create supports for the back. Then we fastened everything with screws to make it easier to take it apart later. We then connected the side of the frames to the 2x4s that made up the corner of the target. Then we connected the back of the frame to the same 2x4s. Finally, we took the puzzle apart one row at a time and glued everything together. Our goal was to make a target roughly the size of a human torso. Now that we're done, here comes the fun part. We get to test it. To help preserve an end grain throwing target, it's a good idea to soak it before and after you use it. We're just going to use a simple spray bottle full of water. This helps to soften the lignin that binds the wood fibers together. Not only will that help the knife stick better, but later when it dries, it'll help seal the holes. As with any skill, it takes practice and proper training to get good at it. So make sure you look for a good school in your area. If you're in Southern Oregon, contact us for our locations and times. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, like it and make sure to share that with a friend. Click the subscribe button and then hit that notification bell so you can catch our next exciting video.